Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Thank you so very much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new, welcome. And I just want to say real quick, I did something a little different. I put the camera back a little further. I wanted you to be able to see the table a little more, and I'm still working things through. But welcome. I am actually starting my love series I've done for about 3 weeks now, and I picked 2 sun signs for the day, and then I basically read a little bit about each one, explaining their personality traits, why I think they work together, and then I also finished with a beautiful interpretation and messages from the tarot energies that will be affecting the two of you for the month, the remainder, which today's June 14th, 2020. So it'll definitely affect June and definitely onward, and I'll explain a little bit more as to why that is. So anytime you watch this is really appropriate. Finishing as well with some beautiful oracle messages and guidances that need to be spoken to and brought to you from the higher realms, my spirit guides, and yeah, just the divinations that I use that are just remarkable and deeply loving and divinely guided for you. So today's 2 sun signs are going to be the signs of Cancer and Taurus. So I actually have spoken about 2 other connections with the Cancer. I think it was Aquarius and Scorpio. But this is Taurus, and this is just another way to show you how we can get along with everybody, but some of these combinations really are powerful and super wonderful together. So this is my wheel that I use to toss the dice to figure out which combination would be the day's conversation. And so I'm going to break it down a little bit for those that are new. If you're hearing the same thing, I apologize. I try to add something new each time. But having read Cancer twice now, there'll be similarities. You could always fast forward to the actual reading if you'd like. However, so I'll start with Cancer because it's interesting. And it's come up now, like I said, 3 readings, which I understand on a psychic and important planetary reasons. That being that we have the sun season for Cancer starting June 20th. So next week, I think it's Saturday, it'll be a birthday, solar return. So that's a beautiful time for Cancers. It's always a very special time of the year to kind of rejuvenate yourself, maybe think about how you want to work, the plans you may have and focus for the coming year and the new age and all of that beautiful aspect of that. And then we also have our second of 3 eclipses happening in Cancer on the 21st. So right after you have your sun season starting, the new solar eclipse is all about change, all about beginnings, all about making those desires and interests and intentions brought to life in reality. You know, something that's always, but especially powerful. I mean, you start new anyway with this birthday, but this is even more beautiful energy of emotion and sensitivity, which is exactly what you are, Cancer. So I love that for you. It's really important for you and your relationship. And then also right in the mix is we are actually in retrograde season. There'll be a total of 6 planets retrograde by the month's end, one of which is going to be Mercury. And that's something we have 3, sometimes 4 times a year. And yes, it's coming again on the 18th, just before your birthday, just before this eclipse. And it'll work through July 12th, I believe. And we're already feeling the effects with the shadow period either side. That started around the 2nd of June. And that's also in your sign. So just know, you get through it all. Retrogrades help us to remind ourselves, to review, to kind of relax and take things back. It makes the energies lessened during that time. They're not as strong and potent, but they're all about going inside, man. Not letting the outside affect us as much. Working with what we need to better and strengthen the important parts of our life that need attention. And so there will be some confusion in communications, no doubt. That's very common for Mercury, who rules communication and transportation. So just be aware of that. It doesn't mean it has to happen. You never want to start something new during that time. You want to just kind of work towards what it is you've already maybe started or something you're interested in at that time. Then if you can possibly put it off, just wait till mid-July, it'll be fine. But if you can't, that'll be fine too. Life goes on. There just may be more changes that come from it. But about you, Cancer, beautiful, beautiful Cancer. You are a water element, and you are ruled by the moon, and you are one of the most sensitive and receptive and intuitive, vulnerable, loving, and I will say psychic signs that there are. Once again, being ruled by the moon, you are affected by the magnetic pull that it has. The different cycles that it has are very, very in connection with you, your body, your soul. And therefore, there are sensitivities and moodiness that can come about because of that sensitivity. You know, it's always good to allow and let Cancers have time to kind of a downtime, I would say, time for reflection for themselves. And that's just an important part that kind of rejuvenates you and keeps you on more of an even keel, perhaps. If things get a little bit too overwhelming, it's going to definitely affect your temperament, understandably, right? But so the sign is the Cancer, crustacean of the Cancer. That's about your outer shell, you know, for protecting yourself. If you're feeling you're being attacked in any way or something, you're going to retrieve, you're going to go back into the shell. There's a beautiful softness inside of you, though, and you absolutely are one of the most caring and nurturing signs. You love family, you love giving, you're, like I said, very sensitive, and you love creativity, and you're extremely imaginative. There are definitely physical attributes to each sign, which I haven't really said in the others. I'm going to start adding that. With the Cancer, I would say any water sign I've ever known have the most beautiful eyes. And it's a trait that is not to be mistaken or missed. I've seen it many times, and I'm sure you're right there with it, and you know exactly what I mean. And it's a beautiful thing. And as well as the fact that as far as the body, you're ruled by the stomach. The part of Cancer's body is ruled the stomach and the breasts. So I attribute that, to the sensitivity that you have. And that's, this general area in our stomach is known as our emotional center anyway. So when you're a little bit off balance or feeling extra anxious or sensitive, it's going to affect your stomach. So just know that and understand that that's what it is. But you know, you can always do breathing exercises and things like that to kind of alleviate that for yourself. Also, you are a feminine sign that is ruled and considered a cardinal sign. And basically that means that you are starting the beginning of the season, which is summertime, you know, summer solstice on the 21st, along with the eclipse and all this incredible change this year. It's going to be phenomenal for you. I feel beautiful, beautiful transitions happening for Cancers this year that you may already know and already have been feeling with that sensitivity, but if not, trust me, it's going to bring just this beautiful new side of yourself that you may or may not didn't realize existed. But so there's that. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as the Cancer. You love familiarity with family. I mean, family and home is really pretty much everything to you. You are very content being at home with your loved ones, people that are close to you and that you feel familiar and comfortable with. So then we go to your other sun sign connection, and that's the Taurus. That is the earth element. That is the sign that is considered a fixed sign. It is also ruled by Venus, the planet of Venus. Taurus loves beauty, It loves comfort and luxury, and all the senses are very much a part of who Taurus is. You know, the smells, the taste, all the things that make them feel good, literally and figuratively. They are the sign of money, property. They are absolutely some of the most generous, stable, reliable, dependable. You can always depend on Tauruses, you know, and they are persistent, and they create great wealth for themselves because of their will and their desire to do so. They can be stubborn, and being a fixed sign, they definitely are a little resistant to change, but that's the earth quality. That's that stability that we hope we all can feel with the earth beneath our feet, you know, and that security and stability that's natural. I mean, I find that a lot of times earth signs in particular, but Taurus, I mean, they are great with their hands, and they love all the natural things in life. So they could very easily be this person that's built their own home from scratch. You know, that would have something to do with their desire for that security and stability and that home life that they absolutely love. Property, you know, they really equate their success to what they have, their possessions. They love possessions, you know, and they're not ashamed to say it. They worked really hard for them. The part of the body ruled by Taurus is the throat and the larynx, I think you would say. And so what that says is a lot of times, and this is hands down actuality. I mean, all you have to do is look it up. Most Tauruses have amazing voices. They're great singers, speakers. You know, they have this voice. You know, you get that call, and you're like, "Oh, I like this." I mean, it's you resonate, and you love the feel of it. So that's one of their strong points, is definitely their throat, as well as possibilities of getting, you know, sore throats a little more, maybe colds, just having to be a little, maybe more vitamin C or something. So the two of them together, though, what a beautiful, beautiful combination. Very different, you know, earth and water, but here's my analogy for the two elements like that. You know, you've got the earth, right? And then you add some water to it. And sometimes it can be really thick and muddy, but then you add more water, and then it becomes more movable, more pliable. You know, it becomes like a work of art, you know, clay that can be molded and transformed. And I think that's what the water does for a lot of Tauruses. It kind of brings them out of their maybe set ways at times, being an earth sign, you know. And then the combination of the two of them, they both love security, they both love home lives. You know, they would be completely content living at home, staying at home, building their empire, their castle together. They're great sexually together. They have really good chemistry. Yeah, the Taurus loves the loyal and attention that the Cancer loves to give. And the Cancer loves the security, the strong feeling of permanence that they can get from a Taurus. You know, it's just, they feed off each other really, really well. And it's a beautiful combination that I see time and time again. And perhaps you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if it's not in a romantic way, it's friendships that absolutely last, because there's this true desire to be together and stay together, you know? And when you're with an earth sign, I can't even tell you all the people I know. One of the partners was an earth sign, and I mean, they're in these 20, 30-year relationships. It's just, they're not going anywhere. They persevere. God love them. So that's the two of you together, and hopefully that's brought a little more clarity to your relationship if you haven't known that, or you've never heard anything about the two of you. And I would like to now read the important energies that are going to be predominantly for you as a couple, or as a connection, as I call it, moving forward with, like I said, these incredibly, very powerful planetary aspects coming up for all of us. But as I mentioned, the specific Cancer in things, well, for the Taurus, that's going to affect them in the sense that there's going to be such emotion. And emotion is a beautiful thing, you know, and I think that both the Cancer and the Taurus are good at expressing that. You know, they're very authentic when it comes to that. And it matters a lot to them that they have that connection as far as the emotional side of their relationships. So if nothing pops out, I will mention though quickly, this particular deck, which is a beautiful deck, a friend of mine lent it to me, is the Wild Unknown Tarot. And it's gorgeous. And I'm not seeing who it's made by because I don't have my glasses on. Let me just show you real quick. Kim Kranz. It's just beautifully illustrated, and it has great, I don't know, the vibrational energy that comes from it is really beautiful. So you've probably seen it. A lot of people use these decks. I'm just grateful to be able to have it to share with you. So I'll pull 3 or 4 cards that kind of sum up the power of energies you may have already been feeling. But what I wanted to say earlier too is that you're going to feel them for quite some time, because the eclipses, and then the third one that'll be on July 5th coming up, they are very, very long-lasting effects that come from them. They can last 3 to 6 months. Reason being is that, you know, whereas there's a lot of beginning and endings with eclipses that can happen quickly, I'm not going to lie, that is absolutely a part of it. As I mentioned in another video or two, they have to do with a basic storyline that's occurring for us in this change and transformation that absolutely will take place. Whether you make it happen or not, trust me on this. It has to happen for your betterment, for your growth. And so the beginning of them, which is the first one started on the 5th in Sagittarius, all about truth, equality, global community, just everything together with revealing important, like I said, truths and information coming to the light that's been cloudy and confusing and not necessarily accurate. Bringing it forth, boy, making it happen. That was the first one. That was on June 5th. Moving on to the next set of eclipses in January, I believe. So that's giving you that December, January. Just the formulation of all. You'll know answers. If not right away, you'll know that by, like I said, 3 to 6 months. And that's really important to know. And what you're feeling now will be exactly what you can kind of recognize as the final outcome and lesson that's learned, okay? And once again, for the highest good. I hope that made sense, because yeah, I've had situations with eclipses in the last year or two. I didn't expect it. I usually can put up with a lot of stuff. The universe doesn't want us to put up with stuff. It wants us to be happy, content, doing what we really are meant to do, our true purpose. And you can kid yourself, but the universe will step in and it will take it away if it needs to, just for your betterment. And then you can later say, oh, thank you so much, because I wasn't going to do that otherwise. So anyway, going along, you have the first energies, which is the 2 of Swords. Interesting, once again, this is the element of air. So it is about communication, fairness, discussions, thoughts, you know, a lot of intellectual thoughts, a lot of verbalizing, speaking out, seeking the truth, seeking fairness, seeking justice, you know. And right now the 2 has to do with, I believe, you as a couple. There's a kind of a crossroads. You have a decision to make, whether it be between the 2 of you, an idea that you need to set forth, which you're already thinking about, it's already transpiring, it's already taking form, but there's some finishing touches, which is exactly what the retrogrades require, that you kind of finish up and, you know, perfect, if you will, you know, just making sure everything is just right before you bring it to the world. And so you have some change, possibly 2 ideas, 2 opportunities that'll come forth for the 2 of you. And you work together. You are a team. There's a strong sense of support with each other. But it definitely has to do with the mind. And it also has to do with either Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So if you know of anybody in that particular astrology sign, they could be very much a part of this decision. Family, work, partner, whatever it is. But it's all definitely about communicating and getting clear, concise information. Even with the retrogrades, retrogrades can bring back information. Something we were questioning can bring it right to the forefront. So yeah, definitely something to think about as far as what it is you need to sort through with your communication, ideas and things being formulated for better decision making. The next card you have is the Star. Oh my gosh, the Major Arcana of the Star. It's kind of self-explanatory, but interestingly enough, it also represents the sign of Aquarius. So it's about, once again, our ideas, our North Star. What is our biggest important passion? What are we wanting to have come true? What is it that we've been wishing upon a star for, that we really believe at this point in time, with everything going on, that will come into place? And trust me when I tell you, the influences of the eclipses and your intentions and your belief and trust, it will absolutely make it happen for you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful energy to have. It's divinely guided. It's about truth. It's about making that decision. Maybe you have more than one desire. Stick with one, okay? Preferably the new one. I always like to say that, because circumstances come from the past a lot of times with the eclipses, kind of reminding us and making sure we're, okay, and letting it go the way it needs to let go, or maybe not. Maybe including it and then adding to it. But only you will know what that is. But the Star is a beautiful energy. It's beautiful for love. It's beautiful for dreams and aspirations. It's so fantastic. And then you have, the next card is the Five of Cups. There's been some emotion. Yeah, you're feeling a little sad. You've had to go through some heartache, some disappointment. And boy, I can relate to that. I don't think I've talked to anybody in the last couple months who haven't had something of that happening. The main important message from this card, that's really clear, is that we always want to focus on what we have. Things will always be taken away and they'll be replaced. And how we take in and how we decide to react to things is everything. And the cups represents the water signs, so that's you, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpios. Once again, maybe you're in contact with a lot of other water signs right now. Maybe you have children. Maybe you're just concerned about them, as we all are. Parents, family, which is huge for water signs and for you, Cancer. And you've got the support of this Taurus. They're right there for you, and it might even be that Taurus. Just know that there's going to be a lot of emotions this month. They're going to come to the front, and that's a good thing. We don't ever want to stifle that. Bring it out, man. Cleanse yourself so you can start brand new again. I really like that. It's just reminding you, once again, look at what you have, be appreciative, be grateful, and more is coming in anyway with that Star. Very, very important. And then also you have the Four of Wands. Yes, beautiful, beautiful energy. This is stability. This is the fire and the stamina and the fortitude and your ideas, bringing them to action. The Four is the stability, which is so important for you and your Taurus, which Taurus requires, which Taurus provides. It's security. It's the four walls around you. It's family. It could be a workplace. It could be your home. It doesn't matter. It's just this solid, beautiful, foundational stability that's there for you with this Four. And if you have to fight for it, you will fight for it. You're not letting go. You're not going to give up. The two of you together are a force to be reckoned with, especially when it comes to your families, like I said, and your home life and the things that actually mean the most. Strong, strong, beautiful, secure, protected energies for you. Coming through, possibly the star, you know, are you getting a new home? Are you moving to another one? Are you getting a new business? Anything with 4 walls is very much indicated here, but it's a beautiful stability of those 4 walls. And I see this as being like the third eye in the center. You know, it's almost like an eye. And it's saying, visualize it, believe it, and it will absolutely occur. And I'm all about the law of attraction. What we think and what we feel is absolutely what we create. Intangible, you know, physical forms. So beautiful, beautiful energies. Like I said, they can definitely be happening right now, and you're understanding that. Maybe you understand this choice you have to make. Talk about it, you know, work it through. You'll make the right one because you have this dream and you have this idea, and you can absolutely accomplish and achieve it and receive it. Try not to get too emotional about, you know, the circumstances happening. It's hard not to. And if you do cry, good for you. It's good for the soul anyway. But, you know, standing strong, knowing you've got great stability at this very moment, and then moving forward, coming to you. Information's coming through. Financially, there's a lot of changes and things happening. There was a big slowdown, but now more of that's coming through. So yeah, end of June, July, for sure. You're going to see massive changes with the new moon eclipse and so forth. Beautiful, beautiful reading for you. I'm happy for you. I feel genuinely excited and elated from this kind of energy that's emitting off of these cards. And I'm going to read to you your specific, special law of attraction, really, but it's actually the wisdom of the hidden realms. And the advice and the information it brings is so incredibly heartfelt and important guidance for you specifically this month. The resting tree, patience and stillness. Number 22, which is a power number, magic number, and 2 + 2 is 4. Once again, the stability. There's great stability for you. So if you're not feeling that way, you need to understand that's coming very strongly into your lives. But I really feel like you have it. And I feel like you're just really appreciating it and recognizing it, to be honest. That's what's really coming through for me about you. But I'll read to you what it says from the Resting Tree booklet 22. And kind of use this maybe as a mantra for yourself. It's what I like to do. The resting tree is a sign for you to stop focusing and planning and be at peace in the moment. This is the representative of non-action and relaxation. Yes, I feel that right now. You know, retrograde, just take that time, you know, embrace each other, enjoy it. There's a lot of movement coming up, so might as well take advantage if you can get away, whatever that is. The resting tree asks you to slow down, sit back, and watch the roses bloom and the birds feed in the meadow. This isn't the time to forge ahead in any way. You may not be taking enough breaks. So, and that makes sense, you two are hard workers. So you're invited to be still and contemplate your good fortune, even if it means blessing the chaos in your life. This is a sign to allow everything to fall away except the stillness of the moment. It's like living within the space between breaths. I like that analogy. When the resting tree appears, it signals that you've done all you can for now, and it's time to unwind and allow your story to unfold on its own accord. You've earned the right to rest and relax. Amazing ideas will come if you do. Remember that ancient saying, we do without doing and everything gets done. I've never heard that saying, but I love it. I love it for you. I really feel like it's very synchronistic and in line with what's been said. And it's beautiful. So last but not least, the Super Attractor Manifestation card for exactly what I was saying, bringing that great feeling for the life that you choose into your energy level and co-creating with the world at large, you know, the source that's clearly out there, seen or not, and then working with it for the best life. I love this card. I haven't seen it in a while. And your message for the Super Manifestation card is, it's perfect. I slow down and listen to the guidance that's available to me. The angels that you are, just let it be, surrender, release, let go, and let God. Make sure you do breathe deeply and trust. And I pray that you absolutely are resonating with this, because this is really very powerful and very important, as you are. We all are. I love, once again, and appreciate you. If you like what you saw, just please push the subscribe button. That would be amazing and very, very supportive and helpful. I will be back. I like to read individual horoscopes as well, or tarot readings, I should say, for each sign. But I love and appreciate you all. Take good care. Until next time, thanks and bye for now.